There are some models in the automobile world. They are legends. As soon as you hear their name, the sound of their engines echoes in your ears. When performance, design, and engineering come together, they sometimes become more than just a car. The first episode of our channel, Superstar Supra, is with you. Have a good time. Let's start the story from the beginning. In the 1970s, Toyota was the rising star of the global market. In those days, it would take its place among the world giants in the 80s and 90s with the steps it would take both in Japan and in the world. So how did Toyota become so successful? For a more detailed answer to that question, we'd better make another video. But one of the reasons for Toyota's success was the oil crisis in the 70s. The oil embargo imposed on Western countries, especially the United States, due to the events in the Middle East, led people to small and fuel-efficient vehicles like Toyota. Interest in Toyota grew enormously, especially in the United States, and Toyota took advantage of the crisis to shine in the global market. Toyota, which gained popularity in America with the oil crisis, began to lay the groundwork for the legend it would create in the future. Toyota launched a model called the Celica Supra in 1978. This model was built on the Toyota Celica. Thus, the first generation of Supras was born. Toyota entered the sports car segment with the first generation Supra, the Celica Supra. Tired of big and bulky American cars, Americans showed great interest in this little performance monster with a 2.6-liter, 12-valve, 6-cylinder engine and 110 horsepower. It showed that Toyota was not only building economical and practical cars, but also had the potential to build sports cars. The car had a longer wheelbase than the Celica and an independent suspension system. These features made for a sporty driving experience. With 110 horsepower, it accelerated to 60 miles per hour in 10 seconds. Yes, 10 seconds might sound a bit slow, but this is 1979. This was a very fast car for the time. In 1981, Toyota made a move that raised the bar in the sports car world, the second-generation Supra A60. This was the turning point when the Supra broke away from the Celica, found its own identity, and laid the foundation for a legendary series. The Toyota Supra A60 is not just a sports car. It's a masterpiece, a GT that combines speed, luxury, and engineering. Under the bonnet was a 2.8-liter 5MG inline 6-cylinder engine producing 160 horsepower. Toyota's twin camshaft technology and the car's independent suspension delighted speed enthusiasts. People raced these cars on the streets and won. The Supra's success in motorsports gave it a huge advantage over its rivals at the time. This generation of the Supra gained popularity not only in Japan, but all over the world. Today, the Toyota Supra A60 continues to be a favorite of both tuners and collectors, because this car is a legend not only on the roads, but also in the hearts of the automobile world. In short, the second generation of the Toyota Supra was not a beginning, but a revolution. When the Toyota Supra third generation A70 was introduced in 1986, it was a major revolution for both Toyota and the sports car world. This was a generation where the Supra really established itself as a sports car and became a global icon. Compared to previous generations, the A70 offered much more powerful engine options. The most notable feature was the turbocharged engine option. The 7MG engine had 3.0L 6-cylinders and produced 200 horsepower. The 7M GTE turbo engine produced around 250 horsepower. These engines maximized the Supra's performance and made a name for itself in the super sports car category. It also provided excellent stability and handling not only on straight roads, but also on twisty roads and tracks. With its sharper lines and wider structure, it was a design that marked the late 80s. It was especially memorable for its iconic folding headlights. There was more interest in the Supra than any other super sports car because it was not just a racing car, it was a GT, so it was very comfortable for everyday use. So people could not only watch the races on TV, they could buy it and drive it. An affordable brand like Toyota made that possible for people. Yeah. And a large turbo. So even at low revs, the turbochargers work at a sufficient level, making the Supra an incredibly powerful car at every rev. Of course, it wasn't just its incredible performance that made it so famous. The fact that it had a design that melted us all then, and even now contributed a lot to its fame. It became a very valuable and beautiful piece for tuning lovers and speed enthusiasts. In fact, it became so famous that it was added to games such as Forza, Need for Speed, comic books, and even took the lead role in the Fast and Furious series that we all know and love to watch. Even the movie became so popular that one can't help but think, was it the movie that made the Supra famous, or was it the Supra that contributed to the movie's fame? Now, let's get back to our topic. Now you will say that such a fast car cannot have races? Of course it can. It has achieved high success in FIA GT championships, drag racing, Le Mans 24 hours competition. In addition, many famous drift kings have modified the Supra and won the drift championship. However, the Supra's biggest success was winning the JGTC championship in 2002. After all this fame and success, unfortunately, like all good things, the Supra came to an end. In the late 1990s, both rising Supra prices due to the appreciation of the Japanese yen and the declining interest in coupe super sports cars in North America brought the inevitable end of the Supra. Due to falling sales, the Supra was forced to withdraw from the Canadian market in '96 and the American market in '98. The Supra's turbo model was even banned in the state of California because it did not meet emission values. Supra production stopped completely in August 2002. The year the Supra won the Japanese GT Racing Championship, its greatest achievement, was also the year it was erased from history. In the 2007 North American International Auto Show, Toyota introduced a model, Toyota FTHS. The FTHS, which Toyota introduced at this show, was met with great interest by both visitors and the automotive press. It was a super sports vehicle with hybrid technology and zero emissions. The 3.5-liter V6 engine and electric motor combination in the vehicle was capable of producing 400 horsepower. Toyota said the system was both environmentally friendly and in keeping with the character of a thoroughbred sports car. Never went into mass production. Motor Trend magazine thoroughly analyzed this concept car and made the following predictions. People in the press were excited at first because it was great news that a legend like the Supra was going back into production. Indeed, the exterior and interior design, the engine, the aerodynamics, and the feel of the car was like an updated version of the Supra. This event brought the rumors swirling in the automotive community back to the surface. Will the Supra return? I wonder when the new Supra will go on sale. Style questions began to circulate in people's mouths again. Moreover, around this time, Toyota applied for a trademark for the Supra name. Trademark application was like being some kind of owner of that name, and there was a crucial condition to this trademark application. If Toyota did not release a vehicle named Supra within 3 years, its application would not be approved and would not be the definitive owner of the Supra name. Thus, the future of the new Supra was somewhat certain. While these issues were being discussed, 2012, Tetsuya Tada, the chief engineer of the GT86, used the following words in an interview with journalists in Germany. The president urgently asked me to build a car to replace the Supra. In late 2013, a year after Tetsuya Tada's interview, the website Autoblog finally broke the news. A concept design of the Supra would be unveiled at the North American International Auto Show. On January 13, 2014, the day when all the rumors and stories would come true finally arrived, and Toyota unveiled the FT1 concept car. Few technical details were revealed about this new concept car. It will have a front engine and rear-wheel drive layout, inspired by past sports cars, such as the 2000 GT, Supra MR2, and the 2007 FTHS concept car. Toyota has not announced whether the FT1 will use the Supra name or even be produced. Toyota, which does not officially use the Supra name, applied for another trademark on February 10, 2014. The Kleinzeitung, Austria's largest news site, reported that the new jointly developed Supra will be built alongside the BMW Z4 at a Magna Steyr plant near Graz, Austria. And so it was. On July 5, 2018, it was announced that the Supra would compete in 2019 NASCAR. The new Supra made its camouflage debut at the Godwood Festival of Speed on July 12, 2018. It made its NASCAR debut in February 2019, and the really expected Supra was really accelerating on the asphalt and passing its rivals one by one. In 2019, it achieved a very good success by winning 6 of the 11 races organized by NASCAR. In the same year, the vehicle went into production and sales started without waiting. Offered for sale at $50,000. The Supra reached a number considered successful by selling 5,000 units worldwide in the first year. Since 2019, it has sold more than 30,000 all over the world, generating a turnover of approximately $1.50 billion. The reason for this is that this is no longer a legendary Japanese marvel, but an ordinary sports car produced by BMW for commercial purposes. Of course, this is not official, but both the comments written on this subject, the conversations in the media, and my personal thoughts show that this is the reason. Maybe that's why, when we think of Supras, the model that comes to mind is not the latest ones, but the legendary Generation 4 Supras of the 2000 model, because they are true Japanese wonders. A legend created in times when the effort to be the best was put forward, not commercial ambitions. This car, where pure power and beauty come to life together, may not be talked about much these days, but everyone will always know the name of the Supra, a story that spans more than 40 years, from the 70s to the present day. A hero that has captured the imagination of thousands of car enthusiasts. A legendary Japanese gift to the world. It's a Supra.